Well, I'm about to take my first solo trip here in the Silver Surprise behind me, and I'm heading to a metal detecting event in North Carolina. I'm currently in Ocala, Florida, but I'm going to kind of give you a walk through the van, show you how I've prepped the van, and a few other things we're going to check along the way. Okay, I first want to show you the front seat here. You know, a lot of solo people that travel, I've met a few people who have actually taken the front seat out and they put their foldable electric bikes here. But today, this is storage for me. I mentioned in an earlier video that my spouse, Amy, is an avid quilter. She loves to sew. And we have that pop-up tent that she'll be using to provide some cover, you know, so if she wants to go outside and sew, we'll hook up an extension cord here to the AC outlet, but at any rate, this is the sewing machine. Okay, just a couple things here. So this is a table, expandable table. We've not yet used this. And this is the tent I was referring to, the pop-up screened-in tent. We continue to modify our solution here. So at night, I want some very quick privacy. I don't want somebody to know that I'm camping in here, okay? This solution here will work fine. This is just nothing more than a tension rod. It is a little noisy. You can hear that going down to the road. There's a spring inside there, so probably we'll ultimately replace this with maybe a wooden dowel rod. I'm not sure yet, but all we did here was 3M tape these brackets. There's brackets on both sides here. Okay. And that solution will work for now, okay? I want to show you one thing here. Let's take a look at how much power I currently have in the van. Been sitting in the driveway, drove it yesterday, so it's just been getting a trickle charge from the solar panels. What my display here is showing me is the battery, the house battery, the lithium battery, okay, not the one that runs the chassis, the engine, has a 67% charge to it right now. Based off of my current draw, really the only thing I'm running is my 12-volt refrigerator. I could go for, you know, a good 2 days before I run out of juice. We're going to go ahead, once I start, I'm going to set the timer for 90 minutes. And I want to see what the difference is. So 67% is the number we need to remember. We'll see, will it be fully charged after 90 minutes? We'll find out. One other very minor thing we've discovered from our Facebook group of other Beyond owners, there's a gap right here. A gap right here between the plastic insert here and the door. And you can imagine if it's raining, you know, not a good thing. That's going to get inside the mechanism and so on. So a lot of folks are putting some type of weather stripping to essentially seal that. So that'll be something I'll need to do, a minor thing. Okay, so let me show you just how we've prepared the RV for my first solo trip. You'll notice this is a 22C Li3. The C stands for couch configuration. So this couch, as I said in an earlier video, raises up and it lowers. I have it lowered right now just so I have a little bit better visibility out the back windows while I am driving. Our standard microwave, I wanted to show you our Nova Cool refrigerator. This has a lock on it so it doesn't inadvertently open while you're traveling. And I have this fully stocked here with some items for later this week. Let's take a look at the separate freezer. I want you to see what this looks like. So we have some frozen chicken soup and some microwavable meals in there. I think there's a few other surprises that Amy included for me as well.
Hi everybody, it's Amy. I just want to tell you my next favorite thing. They're called Super Cubes, and you make a meal, pre-make a meal before you travel. You freeze them in these silicone forms. They have different sizes. We're using the 1 cup size today. It's homemade chicken noodle soup. We made it yesterday, froze it. They're all ready to go. The best thing you can do is turn it upside down and run warm water on it, and the lid's underneath so it'll catch it. They easily pop out into these little perfect 1 cup serving size. You put them in the baggie, double bag it, and you're all ready for your trip.
We're using this upper cabinet as an area where we're storing our Our DUP kits, our bathroom accessories, medicine, first aid is in here as well. We didn't want anything really heavy here because below it is the induction stove. We didn't want anything to drop on that. Just very quickly, some accessories, utilities, silverware. Have not used this yet, but it's essentially I want to call it a grill slash air fryer type of a thing. It is electric, so it fits perfectly in there. We'll talk more about that in another video. This is a fold down drawer, and this is a big one here where this is our hot water pot and coffee, beverage accessories and so on. But you can hear how well those things close. They click shut, so that's pretty cool. And then of course this is our sink. In this overhead right now are our plates, microwavable and paper plates. We have some microwavable bowls, the cooking pots and pans that we're using, a few other items. And I wanted you to see essentially what Amy and I each have for clothing. You really don't have a lot of space here for clothing. These are all my clothes right here. This is essentially everything that I have. I think I have a polar fleece behind the driver's seat, but that's basically what we have. This is an extra blanket, towels. Some people will put extra bedding up here. We're of course using these duvets. Amy made these nice pillows, right? And our stereo, some other electronic stuff, some fans, and this is Amy's clothing cabinet. This is our pantry. We'll see how well these work. These tension bars, they do need tightened a little bit, but again, locks pretty solidly. All right, I want to show you the bathroom. This is a wet bath, so it's designed to get wet. Everything gets squeegeed off, okay? And we picked up a small accessory here that not only holds some cups, but dispenses toothpaste as well. And the toilet paper here has a cover so it doesn't get wet, but a lot of people will also use this as a storage location, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So this is temporarily serving as my bar. So I have some vodka, tonic, Fresca there for later this week. And if you're wondering where I'm storing my metal detecting equipment, let me show you that. Here is the equipment. This is my metal detecting coil. The shaft collapses. It's also telescopic. I have a beach scoop here for when I metal detect on sand. This is my finder's bag with my gloves and knee pads and so on in there. I have a few other items stuffed back there as well, but that's a little bit about what the cab looks like, okay? There is some storage I didn't show you above here as well. And this is the back of the van. Pretty tight here. This is why I'm interested in adding a ladder with some additional storage, a swing away rack possibly for some e-bikes that we're going to pick up down the road. But let me show you kind of what we have back here. So underneath here you can see I have a variety of things. Mainly the things I need access to right away are the equipment for my sewage, my water, my electrical hookups. I do have some tools underneath here, my boots for metal detecting. You can see there's also a really nice screen that comes down here and latches down all the way. This goes all the way down, okay? And up top here are where we store the security blinds, the sunshades for the 2 rear windows. Okay, that's it. So you have a quick overview of what the rig looks like for my first solo trip here. You think we should get going? Let's get started. Okay, I want you to also see that the vehicle also has what's called Apple CarPlay. So a real nice feature that essentially syncs a lot of the functionality and features of my phone with the navigation system of the vehicle here. We'll break this trip today up in 2 days. You know, there's no hurry. I'm going to try to do, like I said, I'm going to stop at 90 minutes. I'm going to set my timer here in just a moment and maybe do 5 hours today and do the rest of it tomorrow. And I'll do a little wrap up at the end, maybe share a little bit of info with you along the way. I do need to find a place to refill my freshwater tank. I have about 30% water in there, and at the moment my gray and black tank, they should be, my black tank should be empty. It'll probably have a little bit of gray in there as well. So I did put some sanitation tablets, I guess you call them, in the black tank. Again, another video about that kind of stuff later. So let's get going. All right, kids, don't do this at home. Just a brief moment of filming here while I'm driving, because I want you to get a feel for the noise level. I'm doing about 60 miles an hour right now, and pretty quiet cab. The few rattles and shakes that I hear are more from like plates, things that we have in the cabinet, stuff that, you know, a few towels or something soft, you know, could dampen that noise. But overall, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I would have expected to hear, you know, some more noise, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, so it's been about 90 minutes, and let's take a look. I'm kind of curious. If you remember, we were at 67% charge, and we've been running, so the second alternator has been putting a charge into the house battery, the lithium battery. Let's take a look at the charge level. All right, there we go, 100% charged. So that's phenomenal, and that was just after about 90 minutes. So again, what this is telling me, based off of my current power draw, the only thing that's on right now is really my refrigerator. My TV's plugged in. It's, you know, it's creating a little bit of what's called a parasitic draw, but very minor, you know, and you might have a USB port or two that has a little LED indicator light on it, that type of thing. So, hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that refrigerator, right, without any additional charge, will run for 3 days, that type of thing. And of course, it will continue to charge while I'm going to drive down the road on the rest of the trip. All right, I'm a few hours into my drive. I stopped here at a Camping World to fill up my fresh water tank. They were kind enough to provide a hose, but I hooked my hose up here directly. I'm being careful here to monitor my pressure. 25, 30 pounds is as much as I want to go for my rig. And of course, this is my fresh water hose. This hose is only being used for fresh water, and it's filling my freshwater tank. If I were using city water connection, okay, I would not, I would have the pressure from the city connection, and of course I'd be bypassing my freshwater tank. But once this fills up, it should start to spill out of that white overflow valve. Actually, that's a drain valve. The overflow valve's up top, but we'll see a puddle of water here once this is full. Okay, and as we can see here, I'm up to 70%. I don't think this reads in like increments of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have to go back and check the manual. But rather, I think there are more indicators. It reads at certain different levels, and probably maybe the next one might be, I don't know, possibly 100%. If you guys know and more familiar with this than me, drop a comment in the section below and let us know. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. I think this will be good for now, and we'll be back on our way. Okay, I've decided to stop for the evening, and hopefully, as you can see behind me, I am at a Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel makes a portion of their parking area available to RVers. I'm going to show you the area I'm staying in. Right after I pulled in, there was another, I think that's a Class A RV that just pulled in as well. This is the entire area. Not a lot of us here tonight. I'm in the back there, and we're going to go ahead and get settled in for the evening. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit of dinner. What my wife Amy did here, I'm going to show you. She and my friend Elizabeth made some chicken noodle soup and froze these in little blocks. So I'm going to go ahead, pop it in here. We're going to put it in the microwave, and that, along with some crackers, is going to be dinner. Okay, I needed to turn my inverter on because the microwave, of course, runs off of 110 power. So again, there's only a few things that run off of 12 volt that can be powered directly from the battery. I think my Max Air fan, the TV, the refrigerator, freezer. I think there's a couple charging ports back here as well. everything else, in order to convert that 12 volts to 110, I need to turn on the inverter. While I'm cooking my chicken noodle soup, I'm going to go ahead and get my water ready for tomorrow morning's coffee. Now, if you notice, when I was filling up the water from the Camping World hose, we did have a purifier on that hose, but we also have a second filter. This is a zero water filter. It's very similar to like a Brita filter. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of my fresh water, put it in here, but before we do that, we need to turn our water pump on. So we're going to go to the main menu on the Firefly, which is the house icon. I turn the water pump on, it turns blue, and that's going to now allow me to fill this up. I don't think I can do it with one hand. It'll be kind of shaky here. Let me put the camera down. So a little bit of air because of the water pump just turning on. So I'm going to fill this to the top and let it, by gravity, filter down into the container there. That'll take a few minutes, and I just spilled some. No problem. Well, I'm on a bit of an incline, so my microwave door keeps closing. So I have a makeshift stop here out of a spoon. So I'm going to bring the bowl out here. It's a little hot. Also using my makeshift pot holders here, and I do have an insulator here that Amy sewed. So there's our chicken noodle soup. I just have to mix it up a little bit here. Boy, it looks and smells really good. Alright, so there's dinner. This is not intended to be a culinary feast by any measure, but what I wanted to show in this video, right? Not that this is terribly exciting, but for those of you that are new or anticipating getting a Class B van, a Beyond, a Nova, a Gallery, or some other type, right? It's doable. I mean, this is only week 2 for me, and you can see this thing is working pretty much as designed, not very difficult to learn, so I'm going to enjoy the meal, maybe have a vodka tonic afterwards, work on some videos, and I think we'll see you in the morning. Well, I had a good night's sleep. It is morning and a little nippy outside, so popped on the Polar Fleece, and I'm going to go ahead and get my coffee made. Let me show you what that looks like. Amy picked up this incredibly convenient water heater. It's a electric hot water heater. I've filled that with hot water. I've filled it with water. I've turned it on. It is now hot. I have in my press here my filter and my coffee. I'm going to go ahead, fill this up. Go ahead and give this a bit of a stir. Now put the press in. There's my coffee. Now to clean this up here, this is so incredibly convenient. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this bottom off. I don't know if I can film this with one hand, but let me see if I can show you. Okay, I'm just going to twist off the bottom. No grounds in there, which is really cool. There's my filter, and give it one more press. Okay, it popped all of the grounds out on the filter. One little wipe and that thing is clean. Very convenient, very happy with this. The other thing here, I woke up, it was a little cold as I said, so I've turned my heater on, my air heater, and I'm using my batteries here as fuel. I know I'm going to be driving here shortly, and that will charge up. So rather than expend my propane, I'm using my electric mode 2 to heat up the van. Okay, well, I've arrived at my destination. I've checked in. I'm really excited for what's called Dig Stock. This is a week-long metal detecting event. If you're not familiar with my other YouTube channel, maybe take a look at it. It's called The History Digger. I talk about my metal detecting adventures, historical happenings, and so forth, and all the proceeds from that channel are donated to the Wounded Warriors Project. But, well, listen, I hope this video of my first solo trip was helpful, informative. You get a feel for what it's like. I will tell you I averaged about 13.7 miles per gallon, and that's without using the adaptive cruise control the whole time, and also without using the EcoBoost mode, which I'm going to assume is a more fuel efficient driving mode that I found later. So at any rate, stay tuned for more videos. We're going to pop up a bunch of instructional videos. As I'm learning the vehicle, I'm going to share those learnings with you, and we can all learn together. So thanks for watching. Happy travels.
Hi everybody, it's Amy from Beyond the Adventure. You wouldn't think that this would be happening to me, but it really is. I'm out here watching everybody metal detect. And this is at Rob's event. It's called Dig Stock in North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina. It's been a great time. Lots of people have found really cool things and stuff. And yet here I am, sewing at my Beyond. Just letting you know, you can do anything with this thing. I'm plugged in outside, and it's a beautiful, kind of windy day. My pieces are blowing all over, which isn't bad, except some of the pieces are for Quilts of Valor, which is a program that is used to make quilts for those touched by war. That's what I'll say, touched by war. It's a great program. We support all veterans in everything that we do here. And so anyway, the pieces are blowing, which isn't bad, except that they're camouflage pieces. Not only in the cotton fields, but they're actually camo print. And trying to find them when they blow off my table has been a little bit of a challenge. All right, I finished my first block. Just wanted to catch you guys up. Whoops. There it is. As you can see, the camo, I found it. And it's not lost on me that I'm making a quilt right now, at least one block of it, in a cotton field.
Hello. Can I ask a quick favor of you?
What's that?
I'm making a video. Would you mind just holding this? I'm going to pull out, and then I'll stop and I'll get the camera back from you.
Okay.
Okay. Here, let's just come right here. It's already recording. Just point her at the van, and then I'll stop right here and get it back from you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Little did you know you would be part of a film crew today.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay, bye.